What if a single speech could change the course of history? In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. stood before thousands at the Lincoln Memorial and delivered words so powerful they still echo today. Join us as we explore the legacy of the "I Have a Dream" speech and how it shaped the fight for equality. Some words transcend time, inspiring millions across generations. On August 28, 1963, during the March on Washington, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered one of the most iconic speeches in history, "I Have a Dream." This speech wasn't just a moment of eloquence, it was a rallying cry for justice, equality, and hope. Let's dive into why these 17 minutes of powerful oration became a cornerstone of the civil rights movement and continue to inspire change today. In the 1960s, America was deeply divided by racial segregation and systemic discrimination. African Americans were denied basic rights, from voting to education, and faced violence and oppression daily. The country was at a boiling point, and the fight for civil rights was gaining momentum. The question was, could words alone ignite the change needed to dismantle centuries of injustice? Martin Luther King Jr. believed they could. The context of the speech. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom brought over 250,000 people to the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. It was one of the largest protests of its time, uniting individuals of all races in a call for equality. King wasn't originally supposed to speak last, but his position in the lineup proved serendipitous. His speech, though prepared, took on a more spontaneous tone when gospel singer Mahalia Jackson urged him to tell them about the dream. That moment transformed a great speech into a historic one. The speech is structured around two key ideas: the stark reality of inequality and the dream of a better future. King begins by acknowledging the unfulfilled promise of equality made in the Declaration of Independence. He calls America out for defaulting on its promissory note to its black citizens. Then, he shifts to his dream, a vision where race no longer divides us, where justice rolls down like waters, and where children are judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. This dream resonated deeply, not just with those present but with millions watching on television. King's oratory skill was unmatched. His use of repetition, vivid imagery, and biblical references created a speech that was both poetic and profoundly persuasive. Phrases like free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last became immortalized in history. The speech became a turning point for the civil rights movement. It galvanized public opinion, drawing global attention to the struggle for racial equality. Just a year later, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, outlawing segregation in public places and employment discrimination. King's dream wasn't just about ending segregation, it was about building a society based on equality and harmony. His words inspired movements worldwide, from anti-apartheid efforts in South Africa to the fight for indigenous rights in Australia. Perhaps the most poignant moment of the speech was when King declared, "I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low." This wasn't just a vision for Black Americans, it was a vision for humanity, a world united by justice and love. It's a reminder that dreams, when shared and pursued with courage, have the power to create real change. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech is more than just a historical artifact. It's a living testament to the power of hope, resilience, and the belief in a better tomorrow. Decades later, his words still challenge us to reflect on how far we've come and how much further we must go. Do King's words still inspire you today? What does his dream mean to you in our modern world? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the people and moments that shaped our world. Together, let's keep the dream alive. Before you go, remember, dreams don't just belong to history, they belong to us. Let's honor King's legacy by building a world that reflects the vision he so eloquently shared.